where brevity is paramount. Or would be paramount if this pair of assholes could stop their insufferable waffling. It's all bullshit, all of it. The cabinet minister, the whole business. Get to the chopper.
Hello, and welcome to episode 23 of Chet and John's reassuringly finite gaming playlist. My name's John Denton. With me, as always, is Chet Roivas.
Wapnin.
So if you've not heard the podcast before, I'm going to break it down as efficiently as I can. 2 top 10 lists. 10 to 1, 10 being the game we played the least, 1 being the game we played the most. We go back and forth, starting now with Chet, number 10.
Okay, right, my number 10 is Need for Speed Most Wanted on the Xbox 360.
Oh, is that the new one?
The new one, 2012. And yeah, it's great. There was I was at EA and there was this contest to see who could get the fastest time on this stretch of road. You had to evade the police, get to the finish line, and not crash. Obviously,
I'm assuming you didn't win.
No, I didn't come anywhere near it. But yeah. It looks great, feels great. It's hard to know. I only did that one tiny stretch, but it's always worth remembering that Criterion have never made a bad game, and this is all set to continue that tradition, and it's great. They did present it to us beforehand, and they told me a load of things that I am not allowed to speak about. I think they're probably going to reveal them at Gamescom, but
okay.
The other week when I was talking about SSX and how I hoped that what they'd done with RiderNet, other studios sort of took they were as forward thinking with Autolog as they were with RiderNet, and Criterion seem to have. I can't say, but it's
no.
They're doing.
I get what you're saying. I don't mean to get in trubs.
Exactly. Yeah. No, they're doing just that, and it's exciting. I can't wait. It's going to be fucking great. It really is.
I mean, it looks more Burnout Paradise than the last. Was it Hot Pursuit? The last one I was.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of the halfway point between the two.
Sweet.
And it just looks so slick, and there's so many brilliant ideas. And when they were presenting it, just. They've got your back. You know they're not going to turn out shit. You know they're just so impassioned. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be great.
Yeah, they're the shit. I love Criterion.
No dude.
Number 10 is Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown.
Oh, yeah.
I played it loads. I've talked about it loads. I just played a bit of it. It's still probably the best 3D fighting game I've ever played. I don't really have anything more to add to what I said previously. Amazing game. Fantastic.
Did you play it online?
I couldn't get a game online, so I just played a bit offline. And my little boy was laughing his head off watching it for some reason, so that's the main reason why I played it. But gleaming.
You couldn't get a game. Does that mean that it's died already?
I don't know. I mean, I'm playing on PS3, but I'm sure there's people out there. But I don't know. It was on the Tuesday afternoon or something, so it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't prime game time.
Okay.
Who knows?
Indeed. I've still got the demo on my Xbox. I will play it at some point.
It's special.
Okay, my number 9 is FIFA 13. Again,
you're bringing all the big guns.
Yeah, I was at EA, and I had a couple of matches with a colleague, and when it was presented, David Rutter. I don't know whether he said this before, so I don't know how seriously I'm supposed to take it. But he just said, "This is the best FIFA game we've ever made," and just from playing a couple of matches, and I've already played a couple of matches a few months ago, but I think it might be. It feels so good. I'm
really excited for this one.
It feels so good, and that whole thing that they're embracing, that slogan that they keep touting, what is it? Bringing the
unpredictability
of real world football.
Yeah, basically that, isn't it?
And
it's slicker than that. But.
Yeah, it does. There was something very stop-start about FIFA 12. Much as I loved just 2 games and probably about 10 moments where one of us had to stop ourselves from screaming at the screen, just because either you did something great or you're the guy you were playing against. It was great. I can't wait to see what they do with it.
It sounds like they might have captured the PES magic this year.
Yeah.
And if they've got all the rest of the stuff that they've had for years in place, and then they managed to sprinkle that on top of it, man, it's good times.
I'm so looking forward to it. It's out soon-ish. I mean, September's early for
is it September, is it?
End of September, yeah. So it's not as
that'll
far
fucking
away.
fly by.
Yeah. Looking forward
Sweet.
Yeah.
My number 9 is Bellator fucking Onslaught, Bellator MMA Onslaught.
Nice.
It's pretty shit, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty shit's an understatement.
Yeah. It reminds me of, do you remember playing the UFC game on a Dreamcast back at university fucking forever ago?
No.
Did you even play that with us? It reminds me of that because that had health bars and it's very similar, but that game is 13 years old and better than this Bellator game. Yeah, it's just rubbish. I don't really know why they made it. But it's not so rubbish that it's just like moderately rubbish.
But offensively rubbish because of the DLC.
Oh, yeah, all the DLC stuff, yeah. That is offensive. I forgot about that. But yeah, it's an arcadey MMA game, and MMA doesn't really work being arcadey at all. So, yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it might as well have just been a kickboxing game.
Yeah, there is some grappling in there, but I got taken down and tapped out in 1 second, which isn't very good for a trial. Should probably give you a bit more of a chance. Oh well.
So you're not going to persevere with that one?
Not for 1,200 doubloons, no.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I agree. Okay, my number 8 is The Legend of Aylesbury on the Xbox 360. What the piss is
that?
When I had my spell of downloading every Xbox Live indie game I could, that was one of them. And I was going through them the other day, and it's a kind of like coloured pencil drawing, quite a shit drawing of a couple with a duck, and it has in big letters underneath it on the screenshot, "Play with girlfriend." My girlfriend was there, so we started it up. And at first, there's a story about all done with quite shit pencil drawings. A guy reads you this story about a duck that gets stolen, a pet duck, and you're like, it feels like something that someone was doing for their kids. And it's kind of endearing, and you can hear the rustling of the paper when he turns the page of the script. And it's rubbish, but you think, oh, okay, fair enough. This is something. It's nice, And then the game starts, and it doesn't work. It's a broken. I haven't played a game that broken. It feels like a Spectrum game, or it's a platformer. But as soon as one of you walks off the edge of the screen, the screen sketches out. It doesn't know which one you're looking at. I'm wasted too much breath talking about it anyway. It had 1.5 stars ratings, the lowest rating I've seen on it, and it deserves it because it's crap. So when it asked me if I wanted to pay 80, I didn't even get to that point. It's broken. It's shit.
Sounds great.
It's wicked, mate. Get it.
Game that's a little bit better than that, I think. It's my number 8, Batman Arkham City.
Oh yeah.
I think you can guess why I had a couple of games on that.
No? Oh, after the film.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair play.
Just wanted to be I wanted to be old batters for a bit, so I just stuck on a couple of challenge rooms. And do you know what? I was thinking, Christian Bale's my favourite Batman, definitely, because the films are obviously so fantastic. But I think my second favourite might be the one from the games, these 2 games. I watched... people always bang on about the animated series as well, with the guys with the same voices. I watched a bit of that after Arkham Asylum, and it is good. It feels like it's a kid's show. It really does feel like a kid's show. I couldn't really take it too seriously, but I like that portrayal of Batman. That kind of is the Batman of my mind, whereas Bale's Batman, even though it's better, is so grounded in reality in many ways that it wouldn't work so well in the game, I don't think. Whereas this, I like the fact this guy's more of a detective, but he still kicks fucking ass.
Yeah.
And I just love that game and its predecessor, and I can't wait to see what they do next.
Another Batman game, I should imagine.
Did you hear rumours about a Justice League game set in the 60s?
No.
That was appeared on the news sites last week or the week before, with Batman, Superman, all those boys. But
yeah, is there any reality to that, or is that?
I mean, it might just be. It's just a rumor that I don't even know where it started or what it is. But yeah, it could be interesting. But I want another proper Batman game. I don't care about all those other people.
Yeah. Okay. No, I agree with you. That sounds like a neat idea, but
yeah, I'd take that as well.
Yeah, but it will tie Rocksteady up forever. I mean, that sounds like a great idea for it's already been a cartoon, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Oh, no, that's fair enough. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I didn't know what the Justice League was until you just told me.
Yeah, it's like the Avengers, isn't it? But for DC.
You're asking the wrong guy.
People who know about comics are just fucking screaming at us right now.
Okay, yeah. Sounds interesting, though. The game, I mean. Right, anyway, onto a subject that I know a bit more about. Baller Industries. My number 7 is Get Rich or Die Gaming. Last week,
is it another one from Baller Industries?
it is. Yeah, I spoke last week about
developers.
the rise of Gaddafish and how it had amused me and whatnot. The natural home for that game is on a phone, so I typed the name of the game, The Rise of Gaddafish, into the search, the App Store. Nothing. So I typed Baller Industries, and yeah, Get Rich or Die Gaming came up.
How is it? What is it?
It's terrible. I mean, it's genuinely terrible. The great thing and the kind of exciting thing about the App Store and Xbox Live Indie Games is that it gives people, novices and people who are trying to learn something, the platform, they can get their stuff out there. But the downside is that, I mean, this is the most amateurish video game I've played in a very, very long time. And, it's even more simple than The Rise of Gaddafish. You can complete it in 10 minutes. Whereas that game had a couple of laughs, this has no laughs. It's all slightly wonky, off-kilter, aren't I a weird guy? It's stoner humour, basically. Really, really... just
What do you do in the game, though?
You start off and you have a conversation. It's got a little makeshift control pad on the screen. You're a little guy in the street. You walk up to a businessman. He's like, "Hi, I'm a baller. Do you want to be a baller too? Figure out a way to get a business going." So you walk to a bakery. You buy a recipe for a cake. You go around and you buy some. I mean, you just go and you hear these terrible monologues from these characters who are shit, and it's the kind of thing that if I made and showed it to you, you'd get some laughs out of it. He's clearly making these games for his friends, and that's
right.
Fair enough, because in the process of doing that, he's learning how to make games, which is great. But it's 69p, and he's shooting himself in the foot, this guy, because if you put it out there for free, stoner humour that's this wacky. Or not wacky. Is it even wacky? I don't know. It's unpalatable humour as far as I'm concerned. It was just really self-consciously trying to be weird, and I didn't like it. But there is an audience for that, and he could develop a cult following, but not if he charges 69p. The ratings, 1 star. All of the ratings for it are 1 star, apart from one guy who gave it 2 stars because he said, "I'm giving this a bonus star because I can't quite believe how shit this game is." Yeah, I mean, it's terrible. It's such a letdown because I thought, yeah, I'll give it a shot after The Rise of Gaddafish.
So it's not as good as The Rise of Gaddafish?
Nowhere near. I mean, I laughed a couple of times in that. No, I mean 69p. I bought it because I wanted to see if it was any good, and I felt guilty about not buying the full version of The Rise of Gaddafish. But man, I wish I didn't. It's terrible. Although the end credits, I didn't check if they made it themselves or whether it's a pop song they used. But there's a really, really banging Justice sort of style dance tune at the end, which was really cool. That's about as good as it gets. I mean, it's terrible. I'll show you it one day. It's really, really quite shit.
It. But I don't want to pay 69p for it.
No, you don't. But if it was free, people would start following him if they were on the same wavelength, So it's kind of a shame that he's charging 69p.
Maybe he'll drop it down to free one day.
Well, he should, because
the streets man.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
My number 7, it doesn't make me feel like a baller. It makes me feel like a fucking useless idiot. It's Spelunky.
Oh yeah.
Yep, I keep playing it all the time. I really enjoy it. I'm not as good at it as other people are, I'm sure. It's difficult to add anything to the discussion that I've talked about in the last couple of weeks, so I don't want to harp on about it. But it's just a fantastic game. It's one of my favourite indie games to come up on Live Arcade this year. I definitely much prefer it to Fez, which is basically almost incomparable to, but at the same time, and the method of delivery and the fact they're both on that service makes them comparable in some sort of way. But I love it. Spelunky is my boy.
I did the trial. I mean, what you said obviously is true, because after doing the trial I was just like,
no, the trial ain't the game. It just isn't the game at all. It's like a different game. You need to play the tutorial to learn how to play the game, but it just isn't the game.
Yeah. 1200. It's a bit much.
I know. Yeah, it is tough. It isn't too much for the game at all, but it's too much for a punt. I get that.
Yeah. Maybe they should try and.
You should just play the free one on the internet.
Of course, I forgot there was that one. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Good point. Okay, right. My number 6 is Borderlands 2 on PC. Yeah.
Well, it sucks this week compared to yours.
Borderlands 2. In the process of playing it, I fulfilled a childhood dream, and it's a dream I'm convinced I had before it had even been conceived. I mean, not literally, but before anyone had actually done it. But I played it in a cinema with the full booming sounds. I was just sitting there with the most ridiculous shit-eating grin on my face, because playing a video game on a screen that you almost can't get in your whole field of vision and booming sound, fucking great. Excuse me. It was the PC version. They pointed out that apparently the PC version of Borderlands 1 was really, really not liked by the PC community, because it was a 360 port, pretty straight,
right?
No frills. That's not the case with this. It was absolutely gorgeous to look at, slick as you like, and although I didn't really see it, they've redone menus and stuff so they're a bit more sort of geared towards PC players.
Right.
We played 4-player co-op. Everyone else was on sort of TV screens, and I was on the cinema. It was like an escort mission. We were Handsome Jack, the bad guy, had these statues made of him, and to try and sort of stop the masses from following him, we had to escort this droid around that just laser beamed them in half.
Oh yeah. And
while it was doing that, you had to protect it. And yeah, it's just Borderlands. Well, you didn't really like Borderlands, did you?
I liked it to a point, and then I got quite bored with the feedback loop. But I don't think those loop games are for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I just don't think I have that part of my brain.
Yeah, they're not for. I mean, to be honest, those sort of things don't normally appeal to me. But Borderlands was the first one where it really, really took hold. But yeah, the Borderlands 1 I got really late. I got it like about 6 months ago because all my friends played it obsessively. And when I finally got it after months of them hounding me, I was like, come on then. And by that point, they were so done with it. They completed it 3 times at least on the trot. I mean, they didn't stop playing it. So I adored it for about 10 hours, and then I hit a brick wall because, you need... I wasn't doing it right, apparently. I wasn't doing the right things to level up and whatnot, but blah, blah. This... it feels so slick. It looks so nice. There's nice of the things I noticed. Those little claptrap things. Someone's cut hedges. I mean, it's hard. Those are just aesthetics, but just the game feels great. It looks lovely. It's hard to know what to say. I mean, if you know what Borderlands 2 is this going to deliver? Yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely up for it.
I can't wait. I could have sat there. I mean, even if I wasn't playing it on a fucking cinema screen, I could have sat there all day. I was the assassin class, and I had this sweet little move. I don't know whether it was in the first Borderlands because I only played as the Gunzerker, but you basically... What other game was it in? You basically create a hologram of yourself, and then you dart around the back and you can sort of flank them from behind. It's been done before, but worked really well. And I found some sweet guns, and I just wanted to be able to somehow keep them, but... Borderlands 2, it's going to be great. And if you're a PC gamer and you weren't impressed with the first one, it looks... Even on that screen, I couldn't pick a hole in it. It looked gorgeous and slick as you like. Felt great. I can't wait. Really can't wait. Wicked.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely game for another go on Borderlands. I did enjoy the first good chunk of the first game, but it just got a bit... I don't know, the environments were a bit too sparse and samey, and the feedback loop wasn't enough to get me playing through that, and I wasn't playing co-op because I think I had it for review, so I think I had it before... Most people had it, so there's no one around to co-op it up with, really.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember, but it was also one of those games that came out at the same time as every other fucking thing, so once you put it down for 2 weeks, it's hard to pick it back up.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
But everything I've seen of the new one just looks wicked.
It does look great. It's the place, the town or wherever we were, where we did the mission, looked... I mean, it was kind of had a bit more of a sci-fi vibe. I don't know whether that's going to carry through to the rest of the game, but it was looked like it was kind of set on a slightly retro space station. It just looked really, really nice. I can't wait to play some more of it.
Sweet. Genuine. Sweet. A game that I could do with playing less of is my number 6, New Star Soccer. I've toned it down a lot this week. Still playing when I get spare moments here and there. Again, it's another one of these games this week. It seems like you've had a super exciting week seeing all these amazing new games, and I've had a really fucking dry week where I haven't seen that much. But there's some stuff later on. But New Star Soccer, it'll be my crack for a while. The update is due, but apparently it's been in the certification process with Apple for the last 2 weeks or something, so he's desperate to get it out there. But it also surpassed 1 million downloads last week, so congratulations to that man.
Yeah, really. It's still on my phone, and maybe I'll go back to it, but I don't think
I would recommend not doing it for your general life.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Okay, right. My number 5 is Dead Space 3.
Fuck! Fuck off!
Yeah, sorry. I played it for about just under an hour. Half of it was co-op, half of it was single player. And at first I was like, that's really crafty what they've done, because the single player component was on a space station. It was classic Dead Space. It was what the fans want. Whereas the co-op section was it's a bit more action orientated, a boss fight outside in a wide open space. Whereas, of course, the thing that everyone would have wanted to see is how co-op works when both of you are doing the traditional Dead Space stuff, and whether that kills the tension. But that aside, I think it's really, really, it's really impressive. I was really, really impressed by it. What are they there isn't much that's changed. You now have got a combat roll, or a sort of like a backflip that you do out of the way of stuff, which I didn't mind. It worked in a couple of combat situations quite well. You open most doors with stasis rather than walking up to the door and pressing a single button, which is pointless, but it's a bit more engaging than just like pressing a button. What's most impressive about it is that the single player, actually the first half of the single player bit was on the space station, the second half was on this ice planet, and the way that the first half, classic Dead Space, really tense moments, really the pitch perfect sound design, really tense, and when it transitions to the ice planet, it's really effective, and I wasn't expecting it, because it's tense in a completely different way. When you first land on the planet, it's blindingly bright, but there's a sandstorm, so you can't really see everything in front of you. There's also rickety. Everything's rickety. There's you get the sounds of like creaking wood and creaking metal in the background and around you, so you kind of feel like you're being watched, and you also feel like the ground's about to give way. So trepidation. You're always really nervy about what's going to happen next. So it kind of has taken something that only really worked in the dark in a traditional horror game, and that was just struck me as really clever. I mean, when everyone first saw this, everyone said the same thing, Lost Planet, and so did I, because it does look a bit like Lost Planet. But I also started thinking, The Thing. There's honestly the tension that they could build from set pieces that took place out in the bright sort of open plains of this snow planet was so impressive, so impressive. I didn't think they could pull it off, but they have.
Tundra's scary.
Yeah, it struck me as really, really smart, because it's still Dead Space, but in a completely different way. And I had as many tense moments, and I jumped as much as I did when I was in the snow as when I was on the space station. And sound design, as always, is brilliant. But anyway, we did that, and then we did the co-op section, which was basically the run-up to a boss battle. And yeah, that was really cool. We took it in turns. One of us used stasis, one of us used our guns, so you strategise that way. And the way that the NPC character that the second player controls interacts with Isaac, I mean, he fucking hates him, and obviously we don't know why, but it was not normally that kind of thing when you've got an NPC who's just constant like aggressive banter that can get irritating. But here I was like, you were like, why does he hate him so much? Why is he so fucking vicious? And playing it on co-op is going to unlock different cutscenes. There's going to be side missions from doing it on co-op and stuff like that. And it reminded me that when there's a co-op game and it has as strong a narrative as Dead Space does, I'm going to play through the narrative. I'm going to play through the game on single player and then play it again on co-op, which is what I always do. I think that's what most people do.
I think so, yeah.
So the fact that it may potentially make some horror set pieces a little less tense, I don't think it's going to hurt it, because you'd have already done it before. And it's a nice way of. It felt like two different games, and two different games that are equally appealing. So I'm looking forward to it. The co-op doesn't ruin it in the way I thought, although I didn't do any of the sort of hardcore indoor space station horror stuff. But apart from that, it's looking great. I
don't even think the idea of having someone else there will necessarily ruin the tension. I understand that it might ruin the isolation factor, but I think you can scare each other, freak each other out just as much. I mean, Left 4 Dead, I was always scaring other people just by going, oh, fuck, what's that?
Oh, yeah.
And that's not even a particularly scary, tense game. It is in different ways, and that's a whole different discussion. But I don't see that as fundamentally being something that can't be scary, having another person there.
No, I agree with that. And to be honest, when there's a jumpy moment, like the Necromorphs jumping out of a vent or something, your mate going, oh fuck, shit, is likely to sort of rattle you as much as it actually happening as a one-player game. So yeah, I don't think that's going to hurt it. But seeing how well they've how seriously they because it's so clever what they've done with the snow sections, just making you feel oppressed and lost, and as much as you do in the other stuff, it's shaping up so great.
But yeah, I'm excited for it, and like I have problems with both the first two games, small problems, but the type of problems that you only level at games that do so many things so well. You wouldn't level them at a shit game because there'd be so much actual stuff to complain about. So yeah, just a couple of things to do with the pacing and things like that. But yeah, Dead Space is a fantastic series. I think I'll be done after the third. I don't think I need it anymore.
No,
but,
I mean the space station set piece, to be fair to it, it could have been in any of the first two. It was just more of the same. It felt like deliberately crowd pleasing, but seeing it segue into the snow planet and seeing it just be as tense, that was great to see. So yeah, really promising, big time.
Man, I'm excited. Your list is fucking awesome this week.
Yeah.
So at least I got a new game. Number 5 is Wrecketeer on Xbox 360.
Oh yeah.
You know what Wrecketeer is? The Kinect. It's the Kinect game. Yeah, it's Angry Birds set in basically Fableland, where you use the Kinect to chuck rocks at castles and towers, and it's actually pretty good. It needs a fucking bowling lane worth of room to play, even more so than most Kinect games. And I got to the back of my room, and it said, "Okay, you're fine to play here." And then next thing it goes, right, it says, "Take 2 steps back." Like, this is after it asking me to step as far back as I can in my room to calibrate the game space. So I had to basically reconstruct my entire flat to play, which isn't particularly good fun. But once I got the fucker working, yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you expect it to be, but everything works really well, and the physics of knocking down the towers is much, much better than it is in any of those games, in Angry Birds or anything. It's much more satisfying to knock down a big fucking castle that falls down realistically and smashes. And yeah, I think for a Kinect game, it's good. Anyone could walk up to this game and know how to play it within 10 seconds, which is the point of that technology, I think, and it's way better than it has any right to be. I wouldn't exactly recommend everybody jump on the service and download it immediately, but as the type of Kinect party game of the summer, if anybody is even after that, it does a very serviceable and good job. It's your 7 out of 10. Well done, you've done a good job.
How much?
It's 1,200 points, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have a look at that next week, so I'll let you know what happens.
Yeah,
with that.
it really is all right. It's way better than it has any right to be.
Okay, fair play. Okay, right, my number 4 is Darksiders 2.
Fucking hell, mate. You've been busy this week.
Yeah, no doubt. Right. The first thing I'll say about Darksiders, I played it, really enjoyed it, but you compared it to something, and as soon as you said it, I was like, of course, that's what it is.
Zelda.
Exactly. I can't believe I didn't see that, but it owes so much to Zelda.
I just thought it was a bad Zelda game.
You didn't like it?
I thought it was alright, but everybody was raving about it, but I was like, these puzzles are so wank compared to the puzzles in Zelda. What are you talking about, everyone?
Yeah.
And then I just forgot it even existed.
Yeah, part of the thrill for me was being able to play essentially Zelda but on a control pad, which is something we haven't been able to do for a little while.
True.
Although Skyward Sword, masterpiece. Yeah, the influence of Zelda feels even more explicit this time. The first thing I've basically played the opening 3 or 4 hours straight from the beginning. and I've done the first temple dungeon, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But the first thing that struck me, after you've done the sort of action-orientated, you get to grips with the combat, it's a lot faster and slicker than Darksiders 1. It feels very nice. Visually, it looks better as well. The Darksiders 1 had a lot of dilapidated buildings and stuff like that, and this is set out sort of out in the countryside to an extent, which is why it feels more like Zelda. But once you've done that opening tier, you set foot out onto these plains, and the button prompt comes up to summon your horse. And I was like, fucking hell, this looks exactly like when you ride out onto those fields at the beginning of Twilight Princess. I mean, exactly. The land looks the same. Just visually, it looks almost identical. And then you've got your horse there. And I was like, fuck. I mean, and the world in general feels like it's come out of Zelda. That's no bad thing. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it for the whole 3-4 hours that I played it. Differences from the first game, as I said, the combat's faster and slicker. It just feels nicer. But there's loot drops now, so enemies drop loot, they drop armour, they drop weapons, and was there a skill point system in the first one?
God damn, I'm gonna say yes, but I might be very wrong.
I can't remember. I
can't remember. It's a while ago now.
Either way, it's nothing new. You've got two. You get skill points, and you can take one of two trees. One's combat orientated, one's sort of magic orientated. It's old stuff. And yeah, I did the first temple. Puzzles were pretty good. Technically, it looked great, even though the game's not finished yet. I'm sure it's finished, but it's not. The build that we had wasn't finished.
Sure.
And yeah, it feels like more of the same, but in a very good way. And I'm looking forward to playing it some more. It's good.
That's out next month, isn't it?
The 20th of August, I think, something like that.
That is a fucking big game for THQ. Big game.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's a big game, as in it's a big game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to playing more. The combat's great. It's fun. It's just fun.
Yeah, as with everything, I'll always give the second go around a go. I'm not the type of person to write anything off before it comes out. But the first one didn't click with me as much as it did for some people, as I explained. But yeah, I'm quietly intrigued by this one. The fact that it's big is slightly worrying because time, but that's not the game's fault.
Yeah, indeed. I liked the first one, but this just looks better in every department. So I'm sure it could be very, very big.
No, I hope so for THQ because good people over there.
Mm-hmm.
So number 4, I was trying to think of a clever segue, but I'm obviously stupid. Number 4 is Pro Evolution Soccer 2013.
Wow.
Nobody calls it even Pro Evo anymore. Everyone just calls it PES now.
I still call it Pro Evo.
I wish I still called it Pro Evo, but I call it PES now. I hate myself. The demo came out today, or yesterday, or whatever day you're listening to this in the past. And it's a bloody good demo. For starters, credit to Konami for doing a demo that has its own menu, doesn't make you go through loads of static screens of bollocks once you finish the game, lets you play a full game, has 4 different international teams to play with, and then I just discovered just before we started the podcast there's a whole extra mode for the Copa Libertadores with like foreign teams that I don't really know who they are, that's in there as well. And the game I played it maybe 6 weeks ago in an early build, and it's come on so much since then. It's fucking good. I mean, it is fucking good. They have really, really nailed it this year. There's still time for them to fuck it up completely, and I still wouldn't be surprised if they managed to do that, given the bug that came out in PES 2012. But
you'll never let that go, will you?
No. Maybe if this comes out and it's as good as it is now, with all the online working and everything like that, I'll let it go. No, I won't. But where to start? Super smooth animation, loads and loads and loads of new animations that weren't even in last year's game. Player movement has taken. It's almost like it's come from a different fucking generation. The player movement now, strikers bending runs, curving them, stopping themselves from going offside, like twisting defenders this way and that. Stuff that's been in FIFA for the last few years, but hasn't been in PES. And they're bigging up this thing that they're calling Player ID this year. It's not really a new thing. It's something that has been in this series since the PS1 days, but having individual players, star players basically, having their own specific animations and playing styles. And finally, they've decided to actually big it up and sort of single it out as a really cool feature, which it is. So Ronaldo runs and dribbles exactly like he does in real life. Player like Pirlo plays and moves exactly like he does. Rooney feels and looks and moves like Rooney, and it does really make a difference, because when you pass the ball to those players, you'll instinctively start to play as they would. So if I pass the ball to Pirlo for Italy, I'll start to try and control the match. Italy are in this demo. I'll start to control the match like he did in the Euros, or try to anyway. And just has that pro magic still. I'm really pumped. I'm pumped for the battle this year, man, because FIFA's looking wicked, and Pro Evo looks like they finally step back up to the plate properly instead of fucking around.
Wow. I need to. I'm going to download the demo later today.
Yeah, it's a wicked demo. Everyone should check it out.
I really liked last year's as well.
I did.
I played that really early last year, but I haven't played this one yet. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Just especially having played FIFA 13 and seeing how fucking great that is.
Yeah, it's going to be a real ruck this year. I mean, FIFA's going to win on the charts. Obviously, that's fine. But it's great to see my old favourite stepping back up. And as much as I don't want to diss my boy Seabass, because he's been my boy since I was 13 years old, seems like him stepping away last year is the reason why this series is getting back to its glory. I mean, just purely seeing he's not in charge anymore, new guy is, and the game's taken such a leap of quality since he's left. I don't want to diss my boy Seabass, but sometimes it's just a good time to pass the torch.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. And they're relocating development to England now, aren't they?
I don't think they're relocating development. They're just opening a sort of a studio over here, like a branch over here, to capture some of the essence of English football culture and probably handle some of the development. But I think it will still be primarily made in Tokyo.
All right. Okay, yeah, I'm going to download that later. Really looking forward to it. Okay, my number 3 is Walking Dead episode 2.
Yeah, me too. Wicked, perfect.
Your number 3?
Yes.
Okay, what did you reckon?
I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
Wicked series. I just love it. You talk and then I'll talk. I'm all pumped.
Well, yeah, I think I might have said this before, but it's been a long time since I've played a game that I was so confident I could sit almost anybody down in front of and they'd watch it like they were watching a movie and be as engaged as they are in it.
Yeah. In
a film. The thing that I really took away from this episode is that there's something so unpretentious about the way with game development. There tends to be people who either take primarily from cinema almost exclusively, and people who seem adamant that only sort of using tools that have been sort of come along with the development of video games. The fact that this is a game with choices and all that other stuff, but also they're not afraid to guide you a little bit in ways that people who make this kind of game traditionally aren't. So I'm not spoiling anything to say that there's a character or possibly 2 characters you meet with in this game who are not to be trusted. And it's explicit about the way that it paints those characters. It's explicitly telling you that they're not to be trusted. At first I was just like, I'm not going to trust them. I'm not going to, it felt like it was making your mind up for you, and that's something that people stay back from unnecessarily sometimes, because it was serving to guide you on a story. That's why it's so engaging, because it's not afraid to use tools like that. Stuff that films use all the time to basically paint someone as probably a shady person, probably going to screw you over, and maybe they do, maybe they don't. But it's so involved, so engaged by sort of using both of those kind of sort of tool sets to tell a story. And I did it from beginning to end, and I just love there's one thing I will say, my memory's terrible, and we had initially, me and my girlfriend decided to pick this up when it came out on a disc at some point, because then we could go through it in one go.
Right.
Because there's one of the real thrills of it is saying or doing something and then being immediately told that the person you're with is going to remember that you said or did it. And it's a real excitement to that, but I can never remember what I've said and did.
Oh, right.
Which is a bit of a shame. I mean, the summary at the beginning...
There was a huge gap as well between the first and second episodes, which didn't help.
Are there gaps between the next one?
The next one's supposed to... it's supposed to be out mid-August, so... Yeah, there was some weird hold-up and delay on this one, but it is supposed to be mid-August and then mid-month for the rest of them.
Okay. But there's such excitement like doing that, and especially in episode 2, me and my girlfriend both. Well, we take it in turns controlling the pad.
Yeah.
We both at different points said the wrong fucking thing. So,
right.
And that's part of the joy of it as well. I was like, "You stupid cow," and she was giving me shit because I did something stupid. So it's that interactivity is fucking great.
Yeah. Same thing happened with me. Not spoiling anything, but there's a moment where you have to react quickly in your choice, and my girlfriend didn't have. It's not really her fault, but she didn't have the kind of gaming faculty to know exactly how to react using the controller in that time. It takes her a bit of time to... She's not a gamer at all. So, the stuff that's in our muscle memory isn't in her muscle memory, and the timer run out, and it made a choice that neither of us were keen on. So I was like, why'd you do that? And then, then I felt bad. But, man, by the end, it was just so completely gripping, like almost exasperating in some ways, and so brilliantly constructed that I'm sure this series is going to end up in my top few games of the year by the end. I didn't think they could top the first one, but I think they did.
Yeah, I think they did as well. But again, I probably articulated it badly, but the really unpretentious way that they take stock Hollywood sort of elements, just the way that they can sort of paint a character a certain way, and in games like this you're like, at first I was honestly like, why are they making this explicitly like that guy is probably not to be trusted? And it's because you immediately, that reaction, you're immediately engaged in it as if it were a film, and some developers are kind of shy about doing that. But this, I haven't, as I said, sit anyone I know down and they'd be engaged, and that's obviously it's a well-written game. But the way that they aren't shy about sort of steering your emotions a little bit, it was. But yeah, just really, really a great 2.5 hours or however long it was.
Yeah, brilliant, man. I'm just so pumped for the next one. I can't agree more with what you said. Really, that's fantastic. I'm sure that has something to do with the fact that Gary Whitta's overseeing the kind of story direction of the game, and he's actually written one of the episodes coming up. The guy that used to be an editor of Games Mags over here, then he went to America to write scripts, wrote the Book of Eli.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And he's one of those guys that does scripts for pay and makes, and some of them get made, some of them don't. But he's heavily involved in this project, and it has the touch of a proper scriptwriter who is also completely savvy with games, which is a rare commodity. There ain't many people out there who are that knowledgeable about both.
Yeah. So
it's definitely Telltale's best game as well.
I think so.
And I prefer it to the TV series so far.
I think I do. Yeah, of course I do. Yeah, I do very much.
Yeah, there are a couple of bits though in this one, and I'm not going to spoil it in the slightest, but there were plot holes in similar ways to some of the things people have complained about in the new Batman film, which ultimately they mattered not at all to my enjoyment of anything, but I can imagine slightly more miserable people could pick them up and let that spoil their enjoyment. But I'd hate to be one of those people.
Yeah, I didn't.
Maybe I am in other things and I don't even know. But
maybe I didn't. Nothing struck. I didn't have any moments like that. But I was so swept up in it. I don't think I'd have. I wouldn't have cared even if I did.
It didn't affect my enjoyment of it at all.
Okay. No, me neither. Okay, right. My number 2 is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
That's
HD.
my number 2.
Fair play. What do you reckon?
Well, I've seen a lot of hate. That's an ignorant word. A lot of criticism in reviews about various different things, about how it doesn't play anywhere near as well as it used to. A lot of complaints about the bail animations, which are shit, but I'm pretty sure that people don't realise you can instantly skip them by pressing the button as soon as you bail. So it's a complete non-issue as far as I'm concerned. And a lot of people really, really not liking the way it handles, but I don't get it. I thought it handled absolutely fine. At first, when your stats are low, it's kind of hard, but once you stat it up, I thought it's fine. My only real complaints with the level selection is 7 levels, 2 of them are downhill levels, another one's shit anyway, and you've only got a few levels that are any good, and then you've got to pay extra for the Tony Hawk 3 stuff. I just found that all a bit ugly. But when I was seshing around Hangar and Warehouse and racking up good scores, and I got the game the day before it came out as well, so I was in the top 10 in the world, which is pretty cool. I was just loving it. Just like I've always loved the old school Tony.
I always did too. It's kind of left me a bit cold. I was really looking forward to it, and it's just kind of left me. it's hard to. I mean, we don't know that much about how games are developed and stuff like that, but that day that we all worried was going to... I can't remember what the first Xbox Live Arcade game to be priced 1,200 points was. But when that happened, the worry for everyone was this is just going to be standard practice. They're going to slap this price point on everything just because. And that's what they're doing. 1,200 points for this? I did feel shortchanged.
You should feel shortchanged because it's not good enough as a package. And the presentation is shithouse.
Yeah.
Like the menus and all that stuff's like, this should be reverent, and it looks like it's been, in that aspect of it, looks like it's been knocked up, on the quick by some fucking Turkish DVD company that sells knockoff DVDs.
Yeah, when I picture this game being developed, I picture like 3 or 4 guys leaving early, taking their time about it. And when I compare, it's probably wrong to compare them, but when I compare it to another 1,200 point game, Trials Evolution, I picture a room full of people fast asleep at 10 o'clock at night because they haven't gone home yet. And done for love. There's no love in the conversion. It's just rubbish.
Yeah.
I mean, and 7 tracks, 1,200 points, DLC. 2
downhill tracks, the Mall and Downhill Jam. You can't fucking play on them.
Yeah. I was really let down. I mean, at first I was like, yay, fucking Tony Hawk as it was. I mean, they haven't doctored the gameplay at all. It's exactly the same.
Yeah. So they had to rebuild it from scratch. So I think they did a pretty good job.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I mean, there's things in it that I remember being so frustrating initially, and they're so frustrating again. Like wall riding the bells in school. There's one of them that's so frustrating because it's
the one with the 2 little ramps.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you just end up grinding that rail over and over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was quite happy. I like Tony Hawk so much that the games, not the guy, although he seems quite sound. I'm not going to hate him. But I like the games so much that I would have been happy. I thought I would have been happy with this, but I'm not. I'm really not.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I mean, I was addressing the criticisms that has given it really low scores and sort of fundamental problems people have picked up on. But ultimately, I am disappointed because I want something reverent and something that I will play to death, like I did with those early Tony Hawk games, and it's just not really good enough.
Yeah.
But then this is the studio that made Tony Hawk Ride.
Of
and
course,
I gave them the benefit of the doubt, but
yeah.
Tony Hawk Ride. I almost broke my foot playing that game.
That would have been worth it though.
Tony Hawk Ride. To watch me doing that? Yeah.
No, just to have the experience of having played Tony Hawk Ride. Yeah, it's a real shame. As I said, probably a couple of weeks ago, I was like, I can't wait. I'm going to shell out for it. I didn't even buy the trial. I just bought it. But it's just cynical, fucking cynical.
Yeah, it's very disappointing. Very disappointing.
There you go. That was your number 2 as well.
Oh, sorry. So is this my number 1 or your number 1?
It'll be mine. If that was your number 2.
Yeah, we're good at this, aren't we? This podcast.
Yeah, indeed. My number 1. Battlefield 3. I'm not going to say anything about it except that it's still fantastic. Had a fantastic run of games over the weekend. The only thing I've noticed recently is that people have started naming their servers. We won't boot you. No boot. I mean, there's a lot of servers that seem like they're run by the soundest people in town.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they haven't just come out of the woodwork. I'm pretty sure it's people saying that they won't ban you or boot you for anything, but they probably will. But I haven't had any problems so far, and it's still great. What can you say? It's great.
Yeah, batters. New stuff's out next month. God, we're going to lose subscribers if we keep talking about it.
True.
My number 1 is Binary Domain.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah, I said that I needed some games. I needed to catch up on a few games that I missed out on earlier in the year, and this seemed to be the one that had generally people a buzz, people in the know, yourself, other people. I like it a lot. I would guess, heading towards the back end of the game now. It's kind of gone up and down with me. At times I've really admired that. I think it is the best, mechanically the best cover shooter behind Gears. I don't think it's a patch on Gears, but it's one of the few that actually gets the feeling of shooting something and that feels like there's impact in what you're shooting. The enemies have good AI, they work together in some ways, they flank you, they do all the things that they need to do, and functionally it is very good fun. And the story and the characters are great, even though the main guy is just your standard lunk, looks like the most boring character in the world. He's actually quite charming, funny, Has a bit of a Bradley Cooper kind of vibe to him, I feel, which is always good. And obviously, Kane, the French robot.
Oh yeah,
is the boy of all boys.
Gags.
He's up there with Nick from Lollipop for character of the year for me. But so all of that I like. The level design is pretty damn shit.
You think?
Yeah, it is just rooms and boxes. And then, I mean, some of the stuff when you get to the upper levels are quite impressive. And I don't know, I'm kind of up and down on it. I'll definitely get through to the end. I think if it's one of those games that if I'd gone in with the expectations that I had about that game before it came out, and I played it when it came out, I'd have been blown away by how much better it was than I thought it was going to be. But now I've got those expectations where loads of people have been raving about it. Not you. You were very grounded in basically everything you've said about it I actually agree with, but some other people that I've read and followed and things talking about it is this kind of masterpiece almost, and it's definitely not that either. But it reminds me of like a modern version, a 3D version of like a classic really good like side-scrolling SNES platformer, SNES platform shooter, but just done into a 3D game, and I like it a lot. And those guys, the Yakuza team, are fucking good at cutscenes.
Yeah.
Really, really good. There's some really effective stuff in there, and some good acting, and the story is good. But I actually fell asleep playing it last night because there is one bit that is positively purgatorial when you're sitting out of the back of a car going down the fucking highway, shooting things forever, and you shoot this boss, and honestly, I've no idea how long it took because I fell asleep twice and I still beat it because you're just shooting it forever, and then more things come and then more things come. It's like, fucking get on with it.
Jesus, I don't remember that being a problem at all. I don't even remember that bit.
Oh god, it was just so boring. But I did it. I've done it now. So yeah, I'll probably finish it this week, or I will finish it this week. It's the game I'm playing at the moment.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably trade it in as soon as I'm done and get on to the next game that I want to do, which is the Darkness 2. But
nice.
Yeah, there's people outside my window doing... You don't live here, fuck off. Sorry, Binary Domain is pretty good, but yes, it's pretty good. I'm glad I'm playing it. Well done. Shame it sold no copies, but don't call it Binary Domain. Don't have art done. I could have done better cover art, and I can't draw or paint. So yeah, sort it out. Someone, whoever was responsible at Sega for going into a meeting and saying binary domain, you cannot call this Binary Domain and have a picture of a man with a fucking black haircut and a beard on the front cover. It will sell no copies. Whoever was responsible for doing that and didn't do their job, you're the reason that everything went wrong.
Brutal. But not untrue. Yeah, I have seen a lot of that on social media. People saying Binary Domain, Binary. I thought it was a very good shooter. I think that the storytelling and the dialogue and just the writing elevated it quite a bit.
Yes.
And I remember thinking that, well, before Darkness 2 came along and before Spec Ops: The Line came along, I thought that if there's writing awards to be given for scripts of games, then that's got to be up there. And yeah, my memories of it are very fond. Do us a favour, try and see if you can get an online game and let me know if how that is.
I'm on PS3, so chances are there's no one on there.
Give it a go.
But I'll definitely give it a go. I want to say one more thing about it. God damn, it's falling out my head.
Well, remember it next year. Next episode,
year.
Next week.
Next year. Yes. Oh yeah, the weapons. Why was there no fucking good weapons?
There were some pretty good weapons.
It's just assault rifle,
launcher,
rocket launcher, shotgun that doesn't work, and sniper rifle. Where's my torque bow?
Yeah, but I mean, there was generic weapons in Vanquish too, apart from the heat-seeking rocket.
Yeah, but Vanquish had so much more going on that didn't matter.
It did. They're not even comparable. Yeah. But that's not something I remember having.
It's not a massive problem, but I think I got annoyed because I think some people have said it's a better game than Gears of War, and you know me, I'm a fucking bit of a Gears of War fanboy's not the word, but you know, I'm a fan. I'm a fucking fan of those games mechanically. And they're underrated mechanically, and you can't just go around Nilly Willy. You can't go around Nilly Willy saying the game's better than Gears of War when they're not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, no, blatantly isn't, especially not Gears of War 3, but very good. And yeah, it's good that you're playing it.
Yeah, and it's. I shouldn't be angry at the game for the people in my life who are annoying me. That's not the game's fault.
True.
Can't blame the game for hating people.
Too true.
I need to just stop talking. Right, it's the end of the podcast, isn't it?
Okay, yes, that is the end of the podcast. Thank you very much for sticking with us through all that. If you haven't already, check out the website, thefineartplaylist.com, and our Twitter details are on there and stuff. And thanks again for listening. Hopefully we'll see you again next week.
I'm going to say 2 things quickly. 1, if you want to leave us an iTunes review, that would be awesome. Don't feel like you have to, but that would be really cool if you did. We'd appreciate that. And 2, and this is makes me feel a bit filthy inside, but if you did manage to vote for us for a GMA award, then good on you, and we love you very much. And if anything comes of that, then wonderful. And if not, wonderful too. Thank you very much for listening.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Fasten your seatbelt, s'il vous plaît.